Hello and welcome to the Circle of Love and Light. I'm your host, Dr. Jane Mountrose, here with my partner and co-founder of Awakenings Institute, Dr. Phillip Mountrose. um, we're both holistic ministers, spiritual coaches, and guides here to support everyone who's open to love and light. Today we're actually on our favorite topic. We're going to open to creating a more joyful and loving life in 2024. From a spiritual perspective, we're here to live fully and grow, to live joyfully and experience the many blessings that are here that life can bring. Unfortunately, in many ways, we just are missing some important keys that we can tweak and live more joyfully than ever before. So that's why we're here today. Essentially, it's really a matter of focus and awareness, and we can create a life that welcomes all of those blessings that the universe has in store for us, just with, as I mentioned, a few little changes in the way that we perceive things and maybe the way that we conduct our lives. It's a wonderful journey, and all of us deserve all of the blessings that life can bring, for sure. So to support us on this journey, as we often do in the circle, we're going to have an oracle reading. In fact, we're going to share an oracle reading that we already did for today, and a special meditation with beings of light who can guide us now and wherever and whenever we ask for their support. So before we begin, I want to thank you for being with us. We need to put up the chat so I can see if anyone is here. So please feel free to say hello. Let us know where you're from if you're new to the circle. Share your comments, share your questions, whatever inspires you. And one more thing before we start, which is the usual. This is Buddy, by the way, if you don't know, little Bud, our little boy. We start with just focusing on being in our bodies by taking a few nice breaths. And if you can close your eyes and want to do so, if it's safe where you are, just inviting the blessings from the universe. Whatever strikes you, love, light, peace, joy, harmony. There's so many possibilities. Just taking it all in, and as you exhale, letting go of anything that you don't need here now. Because we're just here together, we can relax and enjoy. Wonderful. So with that, Philip, I'd like to, John Fiore is here. Hi, John. We haven't seen you in quite a while.
Yeah, hey, John.
I wanted to turn it over to you, Philip, to share some insights on this, on creating more joy and love in your life.
I think a good starting place is just to recognize that as a goal, because otherwise you can default into a lot of things that are not joyous
Right.
and fun in your life. I mean, there is a certain amount of challenges and dealings with the dualities of the light and dark and night and day and sunshine and rain. We're having a lot of rain storms here in California today, and so if you have that overall intent, that's where you want to start to cultivate as your default, your set point.
Right.
That, hey, this is what I'm aiming for. I'm here, or I'm really enjoying it. I'm in the flow, having more peak experiences, manifesting things, going in that direction, or I'm just kind of drifting and reacting and going wherever, chasing shiny objects and so forth. And
right.
sometimes it's sort of engaging or interesting, but a lot of times it's not really very productive or on the big picture, the big scale. We'll talk about that in one of the cards today, the King of Air card, the Oracle card.
John says, most certainly a goal. I think it is, and I think that's such an important point, is that you can't get where you want to go if you don't know where you're going.
Where you're going, you'll end up somewhere else. So it takes a certain amount of discipline and persistence. And hey, what would more happiness be for me? What would more joy be for me? Now it might be being very clear in communicating right now. and feeling focused and loving and alive. And if you're listening or watching to this, it might be being open, having an open mind, an open heart, and thinking how you can use what we're saying, the energy, information in your life, and also even responding to this show. You could make a comment too.
Right. And Nikki just said, morning, raining day. Nikki's in
Yeah,
California too. We're having that wonderful, they call it a pineapple express, a lot of rain and wind from
storm. Yeah.
Hawaii.
Mhm.
So, uh, yeah, I think that I'd like to start with the card because I think we did a 3 card reading on this, and that's the reason we did it earlier because it was 3 cards. And I'm going to share on my screen here now the
Mhm.
first card, and maybe you can describe it a little bit, Philip. Let's see. I
Right.
have to get.
And
Hold on.
this card
It's
comes from a deck called the Akashic Tarot
no.
deck.
This
One of
is
the
this is the
Oh,
Angel
Radley
Wisdom
Valentine. Another one. Excuse me. Radley Valentine's deck,
Angel
the
Wisdom
Angel
Tarot.
Wisdom Tarot.
Right
It's a very
there it
wonderful
is. Good.
deck, and it incorporates, like a lot of tarots do, connecting with guides, particularly angels. They correlate the cards, and there's a major arcana in the tarot for your major lessons, and the lesson today about creating more joy and love in your life, and a
Mm-hmm.
minor arcana, which we'll talk about, which gives you more details or follow up to this major focus information that we're about to share. Jane, the sun card that you
Yeah,
drew.
so there it is. It's the sun in the major arcana. And if you know the tarot, it's one of the most blessed cards, I think. And something I appreciate is the the angel there that you see in the foreground is Archangel Uriel. And this is one of the special things about this particular deck is that each of the cards has with it an archangel. And actually, I can't read what it says without moving it. It says a time of great joy and success, brilliant epiphanies that lead to magical opportunities, plans that work out perfectly. And it's interesting if we look at the reality that we're in. The sun is our source of life. It is the fire, the fire that actually causes the seeds to germinate. It causes life to occur on the planet. It nurtures all of us here. And as such, uh, when we open to that light, I mean, that is a vibration that we want to resonate with. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
Uriel is suggesting is if you maybe put your arms in that position, how that feels, just opening to the light and allowing the sun to bless you. And it's a beautiful, beautiful experience just in that. Uh, our posture and gestures are very meaningful. So if you want to open more to that energy, the energy of the sun, that joyful, loving energy that has all the energy behind it, just doing this can help. I can
Mm-hmm.
feel it doing it right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Yeah,
It's
a
kind
little
of fascinating.
little bit of sun just came into the sky in the stormy day here, which is interesting.
Right.
For those watching or in the chat box, if they want to comment on how the sun card can brighten up your manifestations, if you just allow that card, the idea of the sun helping
Right.
you manifest, to share with us what you're coming up with.
John says, love the cards as tools. And we do too. We use them a lot in the circle and in our trainings now. Actually, have a whole new program that's kind of
Yes.
radiating or revolving around using oracle cards to help
Yes.
us. We chose actually the Angel Wisdom Tarot because we wanted to develop closer connections to the archangels. And he said also about the sun card, it's a great choice. It actually wasn't a choice per se. The vibration was a choice, and we drew a card that would uh, resonate with the energy that we were wanting. So it is that's how we got the sun card. And I it's hard. I'm not sure sometimes exactly what all of the symbols mean, but there's this fellow in the background on a horse, kind
Yeah.
of going along with the sun flag. And I don't know if that's supposed to be us on our journey, acknowledging that we have the sun as our source. It has the sunflowers, which are in the tarot and the oracle cards, often associated with joy and life. So it's one of the most I guess positive cards in the tarot. So we were delighted to see that card as our guiding force today.
Right. And I wanted to just share the power of the tarot here. Sometimes when I study or come across other modalities, they actually apply beautifully to the tarot. It gives you another way of understanding what we're doing here. In this case, manifesting your dreams with the Rodley Valentine Angel Tarot and the Sun card. And the idea is something, it's actually a counseling technique called motivational interviewing. But how that works, and now think of applying this today, right now, in this moment, it's open-ended questions, which is what we're doing here. How can you use the Sun card to manifest more? And it evokes, they call it change talk. In other words, how would you like to change? How would you like to have more joy and happiness and fulfillment in your life? And this evokes accepting. You have more acceptance, which was one of the most powerful energies you can ever get, is acceptance. It's very undervalued and very powerful. Accepting yourself. So accepting where you are and how you're going to manifest more from where you are, and collaborating with us today and other resources you have, and guiding. This can help guide you. So really helps you change in a positive, organic way.
Right. And Babs is here. She says, grateful to see you this Sunday. Hi, Babs. Great to see you too. Or see the sign that you're here with us. Yeah, I wanted to say also talk a little bit about Archangel Uriel, who is there on the card. Archangel Uriel is known as the Angel of Epiphanies, which is interesting. Grounding, stability, and manifestation, alchemy, brilliant ideas, manifesting goals and aspirations on the earth plane. He is focused on earth. He's an earthy kind of an archangel, but at the same time, it's about bringing those blessings that are here for us down to earth, bringing spirit into form as we can. Emotional healing, life transformation, clarity, motivation, and inspiration. All those things are related to him. And the wonderful thing for all of us is that these angels are here for us just for the asking. All we have to do is ask for them to be present, and we can ask for him to be present in the background now to support us. And you might sense something special in the air. We will invite him also during the meditation. So that's really exciting. Philip touched a little bit too on the other two cards. So this is kind of an interesting 3-card reading. So the first one is the energy that you're drawing on for whatever it is that you're focusing on. And here we're focusing on creating more joy and love. So we're drawing on the energy of the sun and that archetypal card in the tarot. But then the second and third cards are, the second one is do, in other words, something that will support you if you do it. And the third one is don't do, which is what you want not to do to support this. So the one that we received for do is called the King of Air. And that is the air is the sign related to our thinking. And do you want to talk a little bit about that, about how that relates to focus and our
So the air is the mental, so our mental part. So you have a manifestation, have more joy and love, and you're beginning to think of that, and it might be in your relationships, your career, your health. And the King of Air is the highest card, the king, like in a card deck, the king would be the top card or the highest in the hierarchy of the cards of the, especially
that suit, right?
Of that suit and the face cards. You think of a normal playing deck. And metaphysically, or what it translates to us, is the king has intention. It has focus. It has an ability to see the big picture. It has a sense of relativity, how things relate to one another. In other words, will the action you take help you with your manifestation, and puts it in scale. How important is this? Where does this fit in the scheme of things? So the king of
Mhm.
air, the mind, using your mind in an intentional way, is very powerful, not a random reactive way.
Right. And as a note, the king of a suit, there's a king and a queen. The king is the highest masculine energy. The queen is the highest feminine energy. So they they go together. Not
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to in any way belittle the divine feminine because it's equally important. It just this is the card that came up, which is about. It's interesting for those who have taken our holistic coaching and healing program. We talk about how there are levels in our perspective in terms of how we experience emotions, how we experience our minds and thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
how we experience our traveling through life, our movements through life. And the king here is what we would call the king of diamonds, uh, which is the card that is, and I think as Philip suggested, that would be the most intentional of that suit of the your thinking, using your thinking very intentionally in relation to what you want to create, and not. And we all obviously we all deviate here and there, and sometimes a lot. Um, but to stay focused on what's our highest state that
Mm-hmm.
we can experience, what do we really want to vibrate with
Mm-hmm.
energetically,
Mm-hmm.
and to bring that into more moments of our life.
Jane, you might want to go in the gallery view while you're talking on the card too, and switch to gallery view. So it
Why?
is
Well, I'll go. I think I'll go back to me.
okay,
Too.
and
I think we've seen the card enough.
we've got the card.
Oh, here I am.
Yeah. So be there.
Still
You
here.
are. You're there. So the king of air, or the king of diamonds, that card is to be selective. So think about what you want to manifest. Since once you get an idea of possibilities, start to be selective on what makes the most sense.
Right. Right. And the state that I relate to all of this is what I call pure potential.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it's interesting because it that just kind of to me summarized
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing, which is being in a and here I am actually in that gesture without even thinking. I didn't do it intentionally, but uh, being in that, but being in a place of total openness to the greatest blessings that abound. And you can relate it to quantum physics too, how it is through our projection of a certain reality that things become solid.
Mm-hmm.
And when we just open to what else might be possible, it's
Mm-hmm.
like there's that idea of particle and a wave. It goes
Mm-hmm.
into that kind of wave area
Mm-hmm.
where then it can open to things we may not ever imagine as
Mm-hmm.
being possible. And we don't have to know what they are. We just
Mm-hmm.
ask, what is possible? How
Mm-hmm.
can I be in this place of complete openness to all of the
Mm-hmm.
blessings that life has to bring me?
Years ago, when Jane and I wanted to go more into the metaphysical, spiritual, holistic field, actually as a profession, we didn't know how we could get there, because I was an educator. Jane was an architect years ago. But we were doing all of this on the side, and maybe some people have either just an interest or a part-time activities with more spiritual activities and coaching and healing and the like. And we didn't really know how we would get there, but we just opened up the possibilities and followed our passions and took certain trainings and practiced and offered sessions for free at first to people. And it just started building up and giving them donation possibilities. And it built over time. And we needed to be patient. Uh, if we wanted to have something instantaneously, it wouldn't have worked and we would have quit. And, some people unfortunately do, because it is the big picture, the king of diamonds, the king of air sees like, hey, this may be a long-term project, what you're trying to manifest, and you're going to need to have time and opened up to all kinds of different possibilities, maybe some you've never even considered, but
Right.
you want to be open to it when the time comes and keep going in that direction.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I noticed John says acceptance is a strong foundation, which, and that's related to what you were saying. Um, just accepting what is and being open to where it's taking. I
Mm-hmm.
know at one point, and we were going through all of this in the 1990s, and we were very blessed actually within a few years of having taken our hypnotherapy training.
Mm-hmm.
We had the opportunity to become trainers because Philip was an educator. We had a lot of spiritual experience beyond that, uh, that we could draw on. And that was really wonderful. But at the same time, things didn't evolve quite as quickly as we would have liked.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Philip was talking about, and I think it might have been from Tony Robbins, the idea that even if you look at your progress in a year, it
Mm-hmm.
may not be what you want. But if you
Right.
look at it over a longer period of time, like 5 or 10 years, within 5 or 10 years, we actually, our lives had been transformed completely. We were able to move where
Right.
we want to live here on the Central Coast of California. We were full time doing the work that we love to do. Um, it was way beyond what we had imagined could ever happen, and yet it did. And
Mm-hmm.
we're still here. It's a little
Mm-hmm.
stormy today, but but and
Yeah.
that's the thing. It might be stormy, but you can't let that deviate you also from your goals
Yeah.
because there will be storms, external and internal.
They will be. And as John Fiore pointed out, like acceptance, that's one of the keys, the uh, undervalued, underlooked keys of people's success. Irvin Yalom, he's an existential psychotherapist. He, among his many clients, he asked them what contributed to the most success when I did these sessions with you. And the
Mm-hmm.
one that came up on top was acceptance. And what that means, and this is rather profound, is accepting yourself, all of yourself. That means things that you're not aware of, like, hey, there may be some stuff out there that you need to know about, and things that you don't like about yourself. And you might
Mm-hmm.
kind of wonder, like, why would I want to get into all the things I don't like about myself? Because that's the starting point, like gratitude. Well, gee whiz, I don't have much money, I don't have much time, whatever it is you want to manifest. My health is poor. You want to improve in those areas. You have to start where you are. That's the moment you're
Right.
in.
That's the only
That's
possibility.
the only place. And once and it's interesting, it's
Right.
hiding in plain sight. But once you do that acceptance, that can open the door to all kinds of wonderful possibilities to come into your life.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. John says the EFT that we teach, that you teach, he says, shows us this in the acceptance phase where there are a lot of things that we have to overcome, like feelings of fear that it won't work,
Mm-hmm.
unworthiness, inability to accept that we have created our lives so far.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, if we can't accept that we've created them so far, then how can we accept the possibility that we could change something?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot to that for sure. And having those healing techniques is definitely, uh, for us, we would say a must. you
Mm-hmm.
can you can struggle through it, kind of like feel the fear and do it anyway. But I don't think that works for most people. I think there are some, those real warrior kind of people who can
Yeah.
battle through things, and that's what they're here to do.
Yeah, that's their way.
But
Yeah.
not everybody is like that. So we ready for the meditation?
Let's do it.
Maybe I should also mention the third card before we start.
Okay.
The third card was the three of water, which has to do with connectedness. And the message that we got from that one is, don't forget that you're not alone. And we have each other, those of us who are here together on this call, and we have also the beings of light who are supporting us from above. So we're never alone. And I think well, all of it's important. It's important to develop those relationships, I feel, with the angels and beings of light. It's also important to have other people who are like-minded to connect with, because there's so many who aren't in our world now. And it's very easy to get discouraged because, well, look at what's out there. How is it ever going to be what I want in here? And yet it can be. That's another thing we learned, is that your life gradually gravitates to what you're vibrating. And I think regardless of what's happening outside it, you can be creating something different. Any thoughts before we do the meditation?
Well, yes, you want to be selective in getting the inner resources, the guides and angels and your soul, connecting with those powerful inner resources to help you manifest, and the outer resources. It could be shows like this, or podcasts, people that are supportive, or people who are trustworthy and understand what you're doing for your manifestations and will encourage you.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So, with that, if you're in a place where you can close your eyes and join us, we certainly would be delighted. And we can use this as an experience of togetherness, that all of us together are going to go to a place of pure potential where we can meet with Archangel Uriel and other beings of light. So with that, just close your eyes and again, invite in the most blessed, the most magnificent, wonderful energy you can imagine from the universe around you and from your family of light around you, those beings of light who are here always for you. So just taking in beautiful, nice, full breaths of that love and that light. And as you exhale again, releasing any energy that you don't need in this moment. So often the in-breath is considered embracing life. So just fully embracing life, nice big belly breaths. And then the out-breath is fully releasing those things that are not serving you. And as you breathe, you can be sending that light, that energy of the breath anywhere in your body or around you where you feel you need that. Maybe any place in your body that you don't love or that needs a little healing or a lot of healing, as the case may be. And just about all of us can benefit from sending that pure light into our brains. Just asking our brains to relax for now. I sometimes like to imagine the thoughts that I don't need right now drifting away in little bubbles like cartoons. They can come back. I think it's easier to relax your mind if you tell the thoughts they can come back afterwards. Now is time to have this experience together, and then they can say whatever they want about it. The thought, that is. So just clearing your mind and allowing whatever thoughts are there just to flow, be in the flow. Also asking any energy that is not your own, that is in your space, to send it back where it came from, other times, other places, other people. Lovingly sending it back. And similarly, bringing all of your own energy that you may have left in other times, other people, other places. Just bringing it back. And you may feel doing just those few things that you're more present in your body in the moment. which is a relief. And now as we breathe, we can breathe in lighter energy. And with that lighter energy, we can start to rise up. And this time we're going to rise up all the way past all of the thought forms that are grounding humanity and our mutual agreed on reality here. We can rise up high enough that we go above them. And that's where pure potential is. Really, it's vibrationally above, kind of, you could say, the chatter, the chatter that is all around us here. So just allow yourself to rise safely and beautifully above, uh, sometimes I would say, the atmosphere, poking through the atmosphere into the universe. So going up so high that you're in the stars. And looking around and sensing the magnificence of it all and the freedom that you have here. You can float, you can dance in the universe, you're free of gravity, nothing pulling you down. It is truly a place of pure potential. The stars shining, maybe twinkling at you. And here we can invite Archangel Uriel to be closer to us than even before. So you can invite Uriel to surround you, if you wish, with his vibration, which supports you in all of those things that we were talking about before, and in opening to the divine, and being able to manifest those things that you want within your reality. Just receiving his light. And feeling it all through your body. And of course, all of the angels are beings of love, divine love. So you can just feel that love and his joy at having us here with him, and our joy of having him here with us. You might want to raise your arms or just allow your arms out and feel like you can soar. Whatever frees you the most, whatever feels free to you in this moment, whatever feels joyful, life enhancing. And with him, partly for my own, because I've been doing this anyhow, I'd like to also invite in Archangel Orion, who is a cosmic angel. And he focuses on helping us to manifest blessings in our lives. Some people describe him as like the genie of the archangels. Your wish is my command. So we can invite him to surround us also with love and light and prosperity, abundance, openness to our full potential, pure joy, and of course the wisdom to know it when we see it. Going back to that King card. And noticing sometimes when you're out in the universe, a star might be calling to you, and we won't do it now, but you can come here anytime, and if a star is calling to you, you can just go up there and find out what it is that is calling you. And of course, always in light. We can invite Archangel Michael to be with us, to protect us, to empower us to reach our dreams and goals. And again, open to more joy, more love, more freedom, more of everything than we've had in years past. Just taking our next step forward. What is that for you? What might that be like, taking your next forward in joy and in love? And Philip, would you like to share any readings
Yes.
or anything?
So keying in an Ariel and picking up the energy of Ariel, letting Ariel
Uriel?
speak. Uriel
It's Uriel.
speak.
Yeah.
Uriel. Okay.
Yeah. There is an
Picking up
Ariel
Uriel,
and a
which
Uriel.
there is an Ariel and a Uriel. Yeah, Uriel. And of course, Orion is the sort of a merging of energy since Orion came in. They're not territorial up there.
No,
Uh,
not at
so
all.
you're so the manifesting Uriel saying, getting more of a he energy. Uriel is manifesting your destiny, which was a co-opted term by the United States, but actually it is a very wonderful, transcendent phrase to guide you. So your destiny is being manifested all the time. And when you are in the Kings of Centers, when you're directing it, it can be quite elevating for yourself and for others, because when you're being intentional and loving, you're actually manifesting for other people, because even if you improve your own health, it may be your own body that's improving, but that's going to help everyone around you as a role model, and those you touch, and inspiration, and give you more energy available to do what you want to do in other realms. So let your manifestations be your destiny filled with love and light, and share that with the world.
Right. And of course, that's why we're here today, collectively for ourselves and for the world. And it is true, that idea of the mass consciousness and um, those energies that are limiting humanity as a whole, because it's like a mass belief system in a reality that actually is not everything that's available to us. That as more of us step up and live in a vibration of love, of joy, of peace, of flow. I think flow is another really important word, at least to me. Just being in the flow with life, being in the flow with that joy and that love, and all of these beautiful beings who are inviting us to live where they live or closer to where they live,
Mm-hmm.
rather than choosing to live closer to the lower vibrations that are manifesting on our planet right now. But it is through a concentration of love and light that this is all shifting.
Mm-hmm.
And I sense also the presence of, uh, you could say, the directors of our solar system, Helios and Vesta, the directors of the sun energy. They're the directors of the sun itself. That they just want us to know that they are here, and whenever we see the sun, we can also focus on them to send us more of the vibrancy that we need to make our reality, to bring the reality that we want into fruition, because it takes energy. So we can invite Helios and Vesta also, just imagining the light of the sun shining on you now and always. It is our source of life for everything and everyone in the solar system. And there are so many magnificent beings in the angelic realms, and the Helios and Vesta are in the elemental realms. And of course, we're in the people realms. We're the occupants of our reality. So just feeling that light, that love, that pure potential that's here for us in a space like this. And noticing how you feel now compared maybe with how you felt when you answered or came onto this call. We were feeling pretty good, and I would say it. I'm feeling very, very good now. How about you, Philip?
Yes, yes, I second that.
Yeah, it does see having us also, that's part of the community part, is that together we're so much more powerful than we are alone. So we can take from this experience and just take a moment to reflect on that. What is it you want to take from this experience that you can bring back into your daily life more? Because that's what we're talking about. If we're talking about creating more joy, more love, whatever it is that you want most in life, in this year that we're just entering into, preparing for spring, what would support you in being in that place more often throughout your days? And with that, we'll just thank all of the beings of light who are around us. And there are many, many more. Philip was talking about a collective energy from Uriel and Orion. And of course, we had Archangel Michael also. There's a collective energy from many more angels and masters, also ascended masters around us who are our teachers. Many are with us right now, helping to support us in this higher frequency. So we can now, just having thanked all of them, we can imagine now drifting back down gradually, back down to earth, bringing all of this pure potential with us, arriving back where you started, sitting or resting, feet firmly on the floor, on the ground, connecting now with Mother Earth to ground you, sending love to her, receiving her love back. I always feel her love. Whenever I send love to her, I always feel that coming up from the earth. And breathing now more active energy going back into your normal waking state. Taking your time, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Buddy said, I like that. Can you see him, Philip? He's leaning on my chest. It was so nice. They're so funny. That felt so good. And of course, this is the place where now we focus on sending that love, that light, that joy out to the world. And you can send it just generally, you're vibrating it out. You can, I'm trying to find my little planet. Oh, here it is. Can imagine the planet, just wrapping your arms around it, your hands around it, sending love to the world. You can send it to places of conflict where we would like to see peace and people loving and caring for each other enough that they wouldn't hurt each other to get what they want, where they would cooperate with each other in loving support. But he says, I'm enjoying this. He's kissing me. He doesn't do that much. Yeah, usually. He's in a very high state.
He's
a high buddy
and
state.
licking and lapping up the energy.
Yeah, all the love. He says, I'll take some. Yes, you like that? So, Philip, any other thoughts?
No, I think this is a good place to complete things, of taking your individual manifestation of more joy and love and putting it in your life, and then sending it out to the world to support you and you to support the world.
Right, right. Exactly. So, would you like to tell people what's happening at Awakenings Institute?
Yes, we do have our upcoming holistic spiritual coaching and healing program coming up quite soon now, February 13th. There it is. And That's at tinyurl.com/HOL coach, tinyurl.com/HOL coach. If you want to go into a deep dive in manifestation and healing
And healing, yeah.
and coaching and much more with a wonderful group, small group of like-minded souls, that's an unusual opportunity, and it starts February 13th. So check it out. You can connect with us there. We can talk to you about special plans and payment plans and whatever else you need if this is what is you're following your soul. And it's all about following your soul, doing that deeper and following through on that, getting a
Right.
lot of support and knowledge and tools.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one thing about it. It's a community. People develop lifelong friendships from it. John actually, who is here, he he is a graduate, and so is Babs. Actually, Nikki was here, right?
Yeah, Nikki, I
Yeah,
think
Nikki's a
Sharon
graduate.
Williamson, yeah.
Also, and Sharon Williamson, who's often here. Many others, of course, over decades of time now. It's a program that has evolved out of that holistic hypnotherapy program we taught originally around 1994, probably 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And many things have happened since then. Uh, and it's just really a wonderful experience for everyone, I think. So we have that. And if you want to support the circle, you can follow our page on Facebook, facebook.com/awakenings circle. You can share this video with your friends on Facebook. It's also on YouTube. You can bring it off YouTube, and you can invite your friends to join you in the circle. That's another way to experience it and have someone to share share the experience with outside of the circle. The final thing that we do is to send that all of that love and light that we've been collecting, the joy, freedom, everything out to the week ahead. You can send energy out into your life for specific events or for, like I suggested, for the week ahead. It can go further to just send it out into your future. More joy, more love than ever before, maybe. And with that, have a wonderful week. We'll look forward to connecting again next time.
Next time, great being with you.